Okay, so I'd like to welcome everybody back to the Joy of Gratitude. This week, once again, has been sponsored as a refuah shlema for Yehuda Shalom ben Chaya Rachel. I want to start by thanking everybody who messaged me with feedback. I am truly overwhelmed by the response to last week's session. Someone contacted me to say that it really helped them to focus on what they had rather than what was lacking, and that increased their happiness. Others said that focusing on the gift of renewal really allowed them to approach each day with a positive footing. I have to say that I myself achieved something this week that I've been meaning to do for a long time, and I've just never managed it. And there was this sort of subconscious narrative in my mind that as I've never managed it before, I'm just not going to manage it today either. But I found that after I thanked Hashem for a new day, I realized that I'm not bound by yesterday or any previous day's failures. And that really is a tremendous gift because it's real freedom. I'm not trapped by what things were before. I'm free to be something new today. So that was essentially the message from last week. I hope that those of you who managed to think about it at least one day or a few of the days in the week gain from it. This week, I'd like to share a couple of personal stories that relate to a blessing of gratitude that we say every day. A blessing that contains no requests whatsoever. It's not like begging God to give us something. It's literally just hakarat hatov. It's literally just recognizing the good and showing gratitude. So let me start by telling you this story. I was at work and someone was looking for me, but I was in the bathroom, or the toilet for those of you from the UK. And I'm there and I can hear him calling me, but I can't come out yet. And eventually I come out, and outside the door, I'm standing there saying the Asher Yatzar blessing. Now, this is a blessing that we are supposed to be saying. I've been saying it a few times a day for as long as I can remember, since childhood. And we say it at the end when we finish in the bathroom. And this guy's looking for me, and eventually he finds me, and he starts speaking to me. He wants me. But what can I do? I'm in the middle of saying the blessing. I can't interrupt. So I sort of carry on muttering. I speed up. I try and finish it quickly. And it's not particularly long anyway. Anyway, now, it's not that often that someone speaks to you and you completely blank them. And definitely not in England, where everyone is as proper as the Queen. So he's looking at me and he's saying, what was that about? I was speaking to you, what were you muttering? So I explained to him, you know, us Jews, we say blessings, you know, we say blessings before we eat. We say blessings after we eat. And we also say a blessing after we've been to the bathroom. And he looked at me as if I was completely mad. What? Really? Even after going to the toilet, you say a blessing? And this really got me thinking, because I'd never really thought about it properly. I'd been saying it my whole life, and I'd never really thought about it properly. And what's really interesting is this particular blessing, this Asher Yatzar blessing, is not really just about the bathroom. It's about every aspect of our health. It talks about the different organs in our body, how we need every single one of them to function perfectly. Otherwise, we just wouldn't be able to survive for long. So this guy was actually asking me a great question. Why are we saying it just after coming out of the bathroom? There's so many other times where we could be thanking God for our health. There's so many other times we could be talking about it. Why just then? So before I answer this question, I just want to share another story that happened to me. Those who know me well know that until 6 months ago, until the world changed, I flew very, very regularly. In fact, I've been on so many planes and have got so many interesting and funny stories, I could probably write a book of them. This particular story is not funny. It's not funny at all. One day, I was on my way to the airport. My mother was taking me to the airport, and I was eating a meal of fish on the way because I didn't like eating the food on the plane. I preferred to sleep on the plane. It was a night flight. And as I'm eating, suddenly I feel this bone getting lodged halfway down my throat. I was in intense pain. I cannot even describe the pain to you. And worse than that, every time I swallowed, it was literally like a knife cutting up and down inside my throat. I tried everything. I tried eating bread. I tried coughing up, and it just made it worse. And I actually started panicking, and I started finding it difficult to breathe. And I don't know if that was because of the panic or because everything was becoming inflamed there. It was a very, very scary time. By that time, we'd actually arrived at the airport. I said to my mother, there's absolutely no way that I can get on this plane. I ran into the airport, went up to the British Airways desk. I said to them, I can't make this. I can't do this. It's too much for me. I'm in too much pain. They could see that something was wrong. They let me go. We went to A&E or ER. We waited there hours, and I was truly scared for my life. Truly scared for my life. I couldn't swallow. I was dribbling. They gave me a pot so that I could dribble into, and I was finding it very difficult to breathe. And after a while, they gave me a general anesthetic. They put me under, and they did a procedure to remove whatever was stuck there. Throughout that night, when I was in A&E or ER for the Americans, there was a young woman there with me. I didn't know her. I have no idea who she was. I didn't know what her problem was, but she was there in the waiting area with me the whole way through the night. As I woke up the next morning from that anesthetic, and I'm a bit groggy, and I'm speaking to one of the nurses, and she says that everything went well. Suddenly there's a massive alarm, a really, really loud alarm. And I can see the fear on the nurse's face. And she starts running, and then other people start running past my bed. And I found out not too long afterwards that the alarm was because that young lady who'd been overnight with me in the emergency room had also had an operation and had suddenly gone into cardiac arrest and didn't survive. I want you to know, when I next went to the bathroom, which was not too long after that, I said the Asher Yatzar blessing like I have never, ever said it before in my life. And that's the thing. That's the thing. It's so easy to forget because we just get on with our life and we don't even realize that there's all these things working. There's all these tubes working. There's the heart that's pumping. There's this going and that going. We're not even thinking about it. So the answer to the question, why specifically after the bathroom, is that it's hard to know that there's things going on because we're so busy. But there is one time during the day, or a few times during the day, where we're actually reminded that there's something going on inside there. There's a factory. There's a factory that needs to work well. So say the blessing then when you're reminded. But it's actually deeper than that, and I want to end on this point. It's actually deeper than that. Many of us are looking for these grand, godly things. But the reality is, he's with us all the time. Yeah, even there in the bathroom. Yeah, even there where you think, oh, he can't be here. But even there, he's helping and looking after us and making sure we're functioning well. So even at that time, we have to show our gratitude. So I don't know if you've been doing the challenge of the last week. If you have, keep it going. But I'd like to add a challenge for this week. Every time you go to the bathroom this week, whether you say the blessing or you don't, that's besides the point. Every time you go to the bathroom and you come out, think of one thing, just one thing about your health that you're grateful for. Is your heart beating? Can you walk? Can you breathe easily? Not everybody can breathe easily at the moment. Can you see? You choose. You find something. It's got to mean something to you. But every time, just spend one moment and be thankful for one aspect of your health. I wish everybody a Shana Tova, a happy, healthy, spiritually uplifting new year. And I hope to see everybody next week. Please come and join me, same time, same link. And I'm on 10 minutes early if anybody wants to come and join and tell me, just to chat or to tell me how the challenge went. Lovely to see you all.